In today's video, we are going to study a game played between Bobby Fischer and Jay Sherman. This game was played in opening Sicilian defense unorthodox. This game was played in East Orange in 1957. Bobby James Fischer was born in 1943 and he died in 2008. And he was an American Grandmaster and the 11th world champion. And the world championship he played was the best, I would say, and the most worldwide interest it got because of the Cold War between US and USSR. So let's start with our game. E4, C5, the start of the Sicilian defense. Now knight F3, E6 by black. Now D3, and here this is a more positional way actually to tackle the Sicilian defense. Knight C6 by black. Now G3, and white is going to fetch Cheeto, the bishop over here on G2. And the whole point of this thing is that he's going to castle this side and he's going to attack on the king side. On this king side. Knight f6, and we are out of the opening book actually from this move. And here black just white just improved his position, developing the bishop. Now bishop e7, castle, castle, and knight bd2 and rook b8. The concept of playing the rook to b8 was that white wants to push these pawns and play on the queen side. This is the concept behind rook b8 move. Rook e1 by white, and the concept behind this rook e1 move is that first it is centralizing the rook. The second point is that white want to push this pawn e5 to gain more space. d6 by black. The point of d6 is now it is preventing this pawn push. What is the black threat in this position? The black threat in this position is that he wants to bring his knight over here on b4 or on d4, exchanging this knight on f3. So to prevent it, what is the best move? c3. Now it controls both of these two squares, b4 and d4. Black goes for b6. The point of this b6 move is that he wants to Panchito his bishop, whether on b7 or he wants to place his bishop on a6, threatening this pawn. Now this pawn is being threatened. How to counter it? Black wants to play the move bishop to a6 and threatening this pawn. How to counter this move? You have an option. Sorry. Whether you can play the move queen e2, but it pins your queen. You can protect this pawn by playing the move queen c7. But the best move in this position which was played was d4. Now, it is time to challenge the center of the black. As white is properly developed. And the second reason behind to play this move is that black is not going to take. So, what is the reason behind? White want to push this e pawn and bring his knight over here on e4. This is the plan behind the move d4 push. Queen c7. Now e5. White is going with his plan. It is time to open up the center. And it gains more space. This pawn push gains more space. So, black played the move knight d5 over here. But I am going to show you that just think, pause and think that what happens if black takes this pawn over here. And this was a better version actually. Take the pawn on e5. The reason behind was that now after d into e5 and knight into e5, knight into e5, d into e5, knight d5, and this position is equal. Because next black is going to play this move, bishop b7, and he would try to exchange these white's very dominant bishop g2. So this was better to take the pawn over here on e5. But here black went out for the move knight to d5 instead. Now you want your pieces to get active. So there must be some exchange in the game. That's why Bobby Fischer took the pawn over here on d6. If I want you people to pause and think that what happens if white plays the move c4 over here, still threatening this knight. There are two moves. One, e into d6. The second one is c4. What do you think is the better one? E into d6 was played in the game. I'm going to show you that what happens if white plays the move c4. The point is that the game becomes equal because knight knight b4 into d6, queen into d6, and white has a little bit edge over here, but not so dominant one. White is going to play the move a3. Knight would have go back and come over here, and white would have a tempo. In the game, e into d6 was played, bishop into d6. Now, the reason behind you played the move d4 and e5 was that you want to bring your knight over here on e4. So, knight e4, c4 by white, by black. And black wants to consolidate this square, d3 square. So the queen does not come over here. And I this diagonal. Knight into d6, queen into d6. Now knight c5. Now it is time to attack on the black king side. And it is time to push these pawns, f4 and h4. And knight c is 7 by black. The reason behind is that the queen is coming over here, threatening this mate. So there should be something to protect the black king. Queen c2, threatening the mate. Now knight g6. But is it possible to protect the mate by playing the move knight g6? I want you people to pause the video, and this is the time for you people to think of the combination and of the moves you are going to play and generate a mating threat to black. I hope you have got it. The point is the move is h4. Now it is threatening the move h5. So how to prevent this threat? You're going to bring your knight back. So knight f6. Instead, if black does not play his knight and he moves just, for example, bishop to b7 over here. Now white just goes for this pawn h5, or he just plays the move rook d8 like this. Now, do you see how to win this pawn? You can win this pawn by just taking it. Now king into h7 and h5. Now this knight is being pinned to this queen. So only the defense was after h4, knight f6, which was played in the game. But still, you can win this pawn. How? Because now knight into h7, knight into h7. If king into h7, the same move. First, bishop f4, because this queen is in the diagonal of the rook. After queen d7, now bishop picks the rook. So knight into h7 due to this reason. Now h5, threatening this knight. The knight has to move. Knight moves over here. You can't take this knight. Do you understand? Have you seen the reason that why you can't take this knight? your pawn structure will be shattered. The pieces are equal. Everything is equal. That's why you don't take this knight. Instead, this queen and this rook are on the same diagonal. So utilize this. Bishop f4. I'm going to show you that what happens if you take this knight. The point is that now bishop b7, challenging this bishop over here. After bishop into b7, rook into b7. And black has protected his the threats. Although the game is not easy for black, but still he is in the game. Bishop f4. Now queen has to move back. Queen d8. And I want you people to pause the video. Then would you like to take this rook immediately, or you are going to wait and capture this knight over here? The point is that g into f4. You can take this rook because wherever it moves, these two bishops are eyeing it. So you capture the knight first. If bishop into b8, now knight into bishop, king into bishop, knight, sorry. Now bishop g7 check. After f3, queen d5. And black is threatening the check over here and also threatening to pick this bishop up. So that's why g into f4. Now rook b7. Because rook had no way to go to. So it was better to place the rook where the bishop can develop. h6 by Bobby Fischer. We can take this rook at any time. But it is time to open up the black king side. The concept is this. If you take it, now bishop b7, you play the move f3. Now bishop into f3. Still, you are better. But now your king side is opened. And this queen is coming over here, controlling this diagonal. And you does not want to give that to your opponent. So that's why h6 first. Now queen into h4. Grabbing the pawn. And that was actually a mistake. Because black was unable to anticipate the white's move. The next and next move. Next to next move. And I want you people to pause the video that what would be the defense over here. Sorry, what would be the attacking move over here? And the move is you does not, sorry, this bishop does not matter. You are going to take this pawn. You are going to bring your rook over here. This rook is also hanging. And white is completely winning it over here. I'm going to show you that if you take this rook over here again, but now bishop into b7, f3, queen into f4. Black has picked up the bishop. Now each into g7, king into g7, queen g2 check, and knight g5. And black is able to hold his position. So that's why each into g7 first, giving up the bishop. But I want you people to pause and think, if queen takes this bishop, then this pawn takes this rook with check. So the king has to take it. So the move was king into g7. But if black tries to save his rook, what happens? For example, he plays the move rook d8. The problem is that now bishop beats g3. Now this queen is threatened. After queen h6, now rook e3. The point of this rook e3 move is that this bishop is going to move to over here on e4. This rook is coming to threaten this queen. So that's why king into g7 first. Now rook e4 by white. Protecting the bishop and saying that after the move g3, I am going to give you the check in this way. and your game would be over. So queen h5, getting out of the pin. Now rook e3. This bishop is being protected. Now you are going to give the check in this way on g3. So how to counter the threat in this position? Black made the blunder in this game by playing the move to f5. I want you people to pause the video and think that what is the best defensive move for black in this position. The best defensive move is that rook is threatening to come over here and going to pick this knight. The queen would have to move back anywhere. This knight should be protected twice. And this king must have a escape scare to this queen side. So the move was rook h8. After rook h3, now queen b5. Getting out of the way, protecting this pawn. This knight is being protected. And after rook g3 check, now king f8. And this king is running on the queen side now. But in the game, he played the move f5 and that was a blunder because now after rook h3, queen e8, this diagonal is opened. These squares are weak. So how to take control of these squares? Dark squares first. You give the check. Bishop e5 check. Knight comes into over here. Protect the check. Now, how to continue with the attack? This king queen is out of the way. If you play this bishop, where are you going to play it? If you play it here, then bring the rook over here, then bring the rook over here, it will be a very long plan actually. So what is the fastest plan? The fastest plan is queen d2. Now you are threatening the check over here, the mate threat. So king f7, getting out of the check. Now how to continue? This knight is not going anywhere. So it can't go over here. It can go over here. But you can still go for the threat. How you can continue? You have played the move queen d2. But you must have seen this move also, the defensive move of black. So how to continue? The move is queen g5. Now threatening check. And if this knight moves here, this is mate. So black protects his knight over here. Now I want you people to pause and think that how to continue. You can't give the check over here of rook because this knight is protecting this square. So it is time to eliminate first this knight. So bishop into f6, queen into f6. Now rook h7 threat. Check, sorry. King has to move. King e8. And this is the move which is with the exclamation mark actually. That it is white to play and win. And the move is that as this rook is controlling this 8th rank, is it possible that you can deflect this rook from over here? And the move is queen into f6. Now, when this rook takes the queen, this 8th rank would be open for this over rook, for white's rook. The end of the story. Now, rook into h7, picking up the rook. If black plays the move rook into f7, now bishop into b7, bishop into b7, now rook into b7, and now rook f7. Rook into f7, king into f7, and white is just a rook up, completely winning. So black went out for taking the rook. Now, do you see the mate coming? How to win over here? Simple move. Bishop c6 check. And here, black resigned the game. Why he resigned the game? Because I am going to show you. Because after bishop c6 check, now if you defend like this, bishop to, bishop to d7, this bishop is pinned to this bishop on c6. You can give the check. Queen into e6 check. King has to move. Now, queen d6. Now it is threatening this rook and threatening this bishop and threatening this check and winning this rook. Rook g8 by black, for example, giving the check, and now king f1. And now there is no way that you can save this rook. This rook is coming into the game and white is just completely winning. So that's why Jay Sherwin resigned the game after bishop e6 check. So in the end, if you like my video, kindly subscribe and hit the bell icon button. Thank you very much.